You know the vibes. www.daymcomic.com, DAYMCOMIC.com. Click the link below. Order your comic books right now. They're dropping in a few months. Don't be without one.
What's going on, guys? Antonio here. Do me a favor, hit that thumbs up for me, and let's get into it. All right, so riddle me this. How are you going to do a Harry Potter reunion special and not include the person that created Harry Potter in the first place? Yes, I am talking about the very lovely J.K. Rowling. There is a reunion special coming to HBO Max. 20 years of Harry Potter, Return to Hogwarts. It is going to drop on New Year's Day on HBO Max. And they've got Daniel Radcliffe and Emma Watson and Rupert Grint, as well as some of the other co-stars and a lot of archival footage. Now, they said that J.K. Rowling, they would not be conducting a new interview with J.K. Rowling, but they will take some of the old stuff that she had done, like, 15, 20 years ago when she was, they were making the original films. They'll take some clips of her from there and put it, so it just won't look completely awkward. But, you might be asking yourself, why did J.K. Rowling get canceled? Why did she have people like Daniel Radcliffe saying, oh, I would consider coming back to the Harry Potter world if J.K. Rowling was not involved, when she had a very clear hand in picking him to be Harry Potter? They auditioned, I saw something, they had auditioned like about 10,000 kids to play Harry Potter. 10,000 kids. And in fact, Steven Spielberg, who was one of the executive producers on the Harry Potter movie, Steven Spielberg wanted Haley Joel Osment, who had just gotten nominated for an Oscar for The Sixth Sense, and he wanted Haley Joel Osment to play Harry Potter. And the reports were that J.K. Rowling was like, oh, hell no. I'm like, not that he's a bad actor. It's just that she was very stuck on the point that whoever played Harry Potter needed to be British. She felt like she didn't want an American using a fake British accent. She wanted whoever the child was that was going to portray Harry Potter in all these films, she wanted that child to be a British child. And of course, Daniel Radcliffe fit the bill, and he was fantastic in the Harry Potter movies. But like I said, he turned on her and said that if he were to ever come back and do something in the Harry Potter films, that he would prefer that J.K. Rowling not be involved. Now, why would he say such a thing? I think there was a professor, a European professor, and they had written some kind of paper or whatever. It was very controversial, and it was I know the paper was talking about sex and gender, and in this paper, which this professor got fired, if I'm not mistaken, because this paper circulated and it got very controversial. But after this woman got fired, J.K. Rowling took to Twitter, and she was like, of course there's only two genders. She was like, yeah, there's only two genders. Dave Chappelle said that Dave Chappelle, of course, is canceled. Although Dave Chappelle is living the best life of any canceled person I've ever seen, ever. So if that's, and he even joked about it a couple weeks ago when he was in Louisiana with Joe Rogan, and he was like, and there were like 17,000 people there, and he was like, man, if this is what being canceled is like, I'm all right with this. But he's felt his comedy documentary was supposed to get a wide nationwide release, and a lot of the theaters that were going to put it out, they decided that they did not want to be involved with someone. I saw everybody, it was like, oh, we do not promote anyone that espouses hate and all this kind of thing. The normal woke buzzwords that they use when you go against what the quote unquote talking points of the mainstream press are. And if you recall, if you've actually followed J.K. Rowling, because I'm a fan of hers. I like Harry Potter stories. But when Donald Trump was president, boy, she was going hard on Donald Trump. She was going hard on him and sending out. It was like her and Mark Hamill. Sometimes I had to mute the timeline because that stuff would just come up over the timeline. And I was just like, oh God, I love your work, but your politics and some of your stuff I'm not 100% on board with. So if there's anyone I'm shocked that got canceled, it's J.K. Rowling. Because like I said, she was like, she's like, yeah, there's only two genders. And people were like, Miss Rowling's, I'm a fan of your book. I saw people like tweeting her going, Miss Rowling's, I'm transgender and I cosplay as a Harry Potter. There's and all this. You see all these like trans people and they'd have their Hogwarts gear on and everything. And they're like, I will not support Harry Potter anymore because you said there are only two genders, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, so you fast forward a few years and they're doing the HBO Max Reunion special and everybody's getting paid. And they've decided that they aren't going to include any new interaction with J.K. Rowling. Like I said, they did say that they will use some old interviews that she was involved in from 15, 20 years ago. But she is not going to be included with the main. And I was sitting there going, man, I would really like to see J.K. Rowling and Daniel Radcliffe sit down and have a conversation. I think that would be good television. I think maybe both could, maybe learn something from each other. But I think you learn things from talking to people with differing views. And like I said, I give J.K. Rowling the cosign on that because I thought she was just being honest. And like I said, same thing happened with Dave Chappelle had the nerve to say that there were only two genders. He said it. J.K. Rowling said it, and I mean, she's gonna get a check from this. She gets paid from anything Warner Brothers does with Harry Potter. She gets paid from. So I mean, this is what it is. They got the new Fantastic Beasts movie coming up next year. She's gonna get a nice check from that. They're gonna re-release. They'll have a box set of all the movies and put them out. She'll get a nice anytime. I've heard whispers of a possible Hogwarts type television show for HBO Max. They want to keep exploiting the Harry Potter franchise. They've made video games. They've done all this. Like I said, every time they do this stuff, she gets paid. So even though she's not going to be in it, she's still going to get a very nice check. And like I said, when she said that, I was actually surprised when I saw that J.K. Rowling said the two genders thing, because I was like, whoa, Hollywood people know, even if you don't believe that there are just two genders, or if you do, you don't say it because you will get canceled. Your movies will get pulled. Those acting gigs will start drying up. People just stop wanting to work with you and whatnot. And but I mean, when you're worth $1 billion, she's worth in British? She's worth 820 million pounds, which is a little over $1 billion. $1 billion would have been 1 billion. Okay. So she's worth over $1 billion in U.S. money, which pretty much makes her the wealthiest author to have ever lived. Like Stephen King's worth $500 million. Stephen King's done very well. Tom Clancy, when he passed, 300 million. George R.R. Martin, the creator of Game of Thrones, is worth, so he had an estimated net worth of over 125 million and growing. So he's doing all right as well. But yeah, J.K. Rowling's, she's done very well for herself. And like I said, I'm still a fan. I don't think any of that stuff's controversial. And if you're transgender, I'm not trying to be hateful. I'm not trying to, I'm not trying to, I don't have any problem with anyone that's trans or part of the LGBTQ community. I just, like I said, I respect people's pronouns and all that good stuff. I just believe that if I respect your stuff, then you have to, whether you agree with me or not, just like whether I agree with you or not, you should be willing to at least step back and just one of those, what they say, agree to disagree type thing. And that's the same thing I view J.K. Rowling. She has the right to have her viewpoints, and I definitely support that. And it's a shame that they're not going to sit down with her for this 20-year Harry Potter special. But I am going to watch it. Like I said, it debuts on January 1st, New Year's Day on HBO Max. Are you going to watch it? Or do you think J.K. Rowling is like the worst person? Or do you think Daniel Radcliffe was right to say that, yeah, he would do Harry Potter stuff if she wasn't involved or whatever? Just like I said, these are conversations I like having. Get in the comments. Let me know what you guys think. I'm out. PlaceTheBets.com, guys. Are you tired of crapping out on sites like Fanduel and Draftkings? Go to PlaceTheBets.com. Set your fantasy lineup. Baseball, football, basketball, hockey. They got them all. They'll set your lineup. 30 days is only $1. You can go. You can sign up right now. That 30 days is only $1. PlaceTheBets.com and get that Skrilla. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe, and please check out my podcast at anchor.fm/AkariPress, or just type in Akari Press on your favorite streaming platform today.